One's a former NFL star turned esports coach.
But I was getting the stink eye from my wife. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
And one's a dad who can't stop playing Rocket League.
These kids these days, they're like, blah, 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 blah. We're used to jump and run.
Together, they welcome you to Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge.
Welcome into Ahman Green's Gamer House. I'm your host, Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and with my guy, Mr. Allen Akedochaneru.
What up?
Goes by Allen.
Yeah, most days.
Most days. So this is your ultimate destination for all things gaming. Hosted by myself, like I said, my man Allen Akedochaneru, which actually means what in
Arcade channel.
Arcade channel in Japanese. Japanese, that's what I get now. Japanese. So there you go. So this show is your weekly getaway to meet. I say it's for the weekly getaways. I say weekly gateway to the latest news, and I say fun game updates, in-depth discussions about some of the things we're gonna chop about today. We got, I think, PlayStation or somebody firing people. You know, something that's been going on the last couple of weeks. Some new game releases out there we're gonna talk about and break down. Even though we had the finale last week or a couple weeks ago, we talked about Fallout season, their finale season finish. We're on season 2 now if we want to continue there. And if we don't, let me know. But we got Fallout season 2, episode 1 to break down at the end of this show. And we got a special guest today that you guys are all going to enjoy as well. So I'm super excited about that as well. So grab your controller, settle in, and join us as you dive into a dynamic world of gaming. So we check in with my Kimosabi over here. All right. We had a Pro versus Joe weekend this year. I could hear, I think it's your, I don't know if it's me or you. I know I got windows open everywhere. Oh, that's me. I'm seasoned. I'm old, so I got tabs.
I was going to say, I'm like, I don't think it's me.
No, I got about 1, 2.
Bro, I can't even imagine. You saw what I put in the private chat.
I got at least 30 tabs open right now, just so you know, chat. So, so if I have problems, that's why I got problems on the stream. But I manage it very well. So on Ahman Green TV, what's up, JFK? How you doing? NIL TV Sports, that's where my man Allen is at. JFK, I ain't seen you in a minute. Yes, the Fallout series has been fantastic. Season 2 was even better. Talking about they were in Vegas at that time, which is, you know, that's part of the whole Fallout Las Vegas game as well, if you are a big Fallout fan. And I say one thing about this series, this series is on that level of Last of Us. Trying to think any other good cartoon series or not cartoon, video game series / movies. The first 3 Resident Evils. After 3, they went a little bit haywire off the jump. And then what's coming out today, Super Mario Galaxy, you know, the Super Mario Brothers film. And we already know Zelda is in development, all that fun stuff. So they've been doing, when I say the developers of those movies have done a good job of making sure they're making the movie or the video game transfer to the movie to make sure it's not something crazy or weird looking like Doom. Shout out to The Rock. He did okay, but the movie itself was like, it for some people. Like I'm nice because I don't understand, because I went into acting and I dabbed my toe in the water of acting when I just came out of football years ago, and it's not an easy thing, right? You coming in, you're bottom man of the totem pole, and you got to learn things, so I give, trust me, a much respect to actors and actresses out there. So for Rock to be in that role, to play Doom, I say to the director of that movie, you got to let people know, hey, you got to play this game before we start this movie, right? So you at least understand this. So that's something I would do to give the kids some idea of what movie and what video game. I say know what the video game is first before you jump in. And you think, I think that would be helpful. Or have them read the comic book, because I remember, I'm a Batman fan. I don't know if you can't see any Batman things behind me, but I got Batman back there somewhere. And when I watched, I'm trying to think, it was one of the, I don't want to say most recent, but in the last 15 years, between Affleck to Patterson to Christian Bale Batmans, it was one of them. Obviously, it just seemed a little off. Or it might have been like the Justice League one or Suicide Squad one. That's what it was. I think it was Suicide Squad, where it wasn't quite on point with everything. So that's the director's fault or the writer's fault, because you gotta let the actors know what comics to read. Like, read these 4 books, read these 5-6 books, or read this whole season, or watch this whole season of something. So, but with Fallout, it's been beautiful to watch. It's been fun to watch. And so this weekend we had our pros versus Joes competition, and we're looking at one of the winners. It's not me. It's that dude sitting over there in that chair. He won right at the end. But kind of, you know, it was it was close. I think you had
if Eeyore would have participated in Mario Kart, he would have won.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, he got skills then. I got to see him on the kart then. I got to see him.
Well, I'm just saying, like, point wise, he didn't participate. So I'm saying, like, he was right up there with that.
Yeah.
And then I posted your IMDb link just for kicks.
What, mine?
Yeah. You said you dabbled in it. I'm like, bro, I couldn't believe that you had an IMDb account. I'm like, yeah, I'm on green.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what happens. You do a little acting, even if you're just the fly on the wall in the room, which I was okay. I did the one, and then the fun movie I did was Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. So I got to live out a childhood dream of mine. I got to be in a Batman movie. Awesome, right? And it was basically by request, because I remember like 3-4 years before that happened, I was doing a radio show, talk show, similar to what we're doing here. And I said, somebody asked me, you know, what would be your dream, your Batman dream movie, or would would it be, you being in a movie, how much would that feel? I'm like, feel great. And I would love it. I said, I don't even have to be the main character or even backup. I could be a guy in the background, one of the what they call extras. I could be an extra. And that's basically kind of what I was, but I had some lines, so I got a little $2 for my lines. They tax me every year for about $2.50, and that gets taxed. we get the check from Warner Brothers. It's hilarious. My wife is like, "Really? How they gonna tax $1.50?" They hit that up. So, but yeah, I did that, and I was the fly on the wall. My name was wasn't convict. It was, what was it? Oh, darn it. I can't think of the name. Diamond King. I was Diamond King or something. No, that was another movie. I was Diamond King in. But I was a Thug number 2. That's what I was. You know what? That's going to be my next gamer tag. Thug number 2. I was Thug number 2 in Batman versus Superman. And if you remember C.T. Fletcher, anybody remember in the chat? Y'all remember C.T. Fletcher? He's a Compton Superman. He calls himself the Compton Superman. Anyway, he was in the movie with me. He was another inmate. He was Thug number 1. So Thug number 1 gave Thug number 2 the shank to shank one of the informants that was in the jail. Because you remember the scene in Batman vs Superman, there was somebody that was on the inside that knew all of Batman stuff or knew something about Batman, whatever. Anyway, I shanked him. Oh, no, I helped. Yeah, I did shake him. I shanked him. No. I gave CT the shank. I handed off the shank, just like Brett used to hand me the ball. I handed off the shank, boom, to CT Fletcher, and he shanked my boy in the scene. So that's my 15 minutes of fame. I'll take it. It wasn't long.
You were Diamond King and Big Stan.
Yeah, I was Diamond King, Big Stan, but I was Thug number 2 in Batman: Dawn of Justice. So there you go. Shout out to Zack Snyder and his team bringing me in to be Thug number 2. I appreciate it.
I heard a crazy story. I don't know if it was from you or I think it was from you, that he was from Green Bay.
Yeah, he's from Green Bay. He was at the Ice Bowl that the first when they beat the Dallas Cowboys to go to the first Super Bowl in California. So he was at that game. He was like 10 years old or something in 1956 or 65 or whatever it was, 66. So yeah, and then you said dude was in the last. Oh yeah, the Cherry Pie Christmas. Yeah, that's on Hallmark. You can still catch it on there. So yeah, my man Akedochaneru He's gonna be getting this. He gets a Blastoise T-shirt. Pokemon T-shirt goes to the winners, and I'm working on. You're gonna be getting a case of Slide too. Just letting you know. Slide drink. Oh, speaking of Slide drink, hold up. Before we go to a Slide drink commercial.
Oh man.
Since I need a little boost today. I mean, right now I got my boost. I'm gonna drink that up here real quick in the first segment here before we bring in our special guest.
Bro had the ASMR on the mic for the crack. A little crack and open the slide.
There you go. All right. So between that, my man Akedo winning, getting a Pokemon Blastoise T-shirt. We have a fun guest coming in today, y'all.
It was fun. We did Mario Kart. We did COD. We did
and what else?
Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
I think that was it.
Mario Kart was probably the funnest.
Yeah, it was. Atomic, and then his sister Britt got in, and then in COD we had Eeyore and High Roller, Master High Roller, and we had J-Big dominated, and then I think his friend, I forgot his friend's name.
Oh, that was his brother. He went by God, I forgot his brother's name, but he went by Mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah,
He
that's right.
was Mayo. He was Mayo. Mayonnaise up in the pot spot. So, all right. Oh, yep. On that note, I will bring in our special guest. We got a guy that did what I used to do. He was a dude, or I was a dude. Now he's a dude for one of the NFL teams in the NFL. So I'd like to bring in our special guest of the week, Mr. Chris Collier. How you doing, Chris? Oh, audio. Yep.
Good, Ma. How you doing, brother?
Man,
glad to be here,
good.
man.
Yep, happy to have you here, man. So we got connected through our guy named Nathan, who I met actually 2-3 years ago now at Super Bowl New Orleans, maybe Super Bowl Vegas. He might have been there too. I was on Radio Row then too in Vegas. Where you were on the team then?
Yeah,
right? Yep. So we met Nathan, and great guy, hard grinder worker. Yeah, great dude, grinder. I mean, last year, so I don't know if you made it to San Francisco, but this year at San Francisco, I saw Nathan and I said, "Hey, what's up?" Gave him a hug. What's up? Dapped it up, and he's like, "Ahman, when you need somebody, let me know. I'll go get them." And I'm like, "Okay." And then all of a sudden, I go set up at the table with the group I was with, and like all these people start showing up at the table. We're like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "What are you here for?" They're like, an interview." And I'm like, "Who's interviewing you?" So I was like, "Oh man." I was like, Nathan got. I was like,
he got to connect, man. That
what?
Worked out, man. That worked out.
He was, bro. I was like, man, he on it already. Everybody was asking
everybody.
Yeah, everybody was like, Ahman, do you know these? I'm like, wait a minute, I know him, but I don't know why he's here. I got to figure out. So I started doing the whole process, like how we talk before we went live. Like, this is gonna be the interview. We're gonna ask these questions. I'll be like, I would have to go, what are you here for? So what do you want to talk about on it? So Nathan, shout out to Nathan. He's a hell of a worker here. He's actually in the background right now listening to the stream. But we're streaming out on, I didn't click it. I should have clicked it. Alan was the NIL TV Esports. So that's just 1 week. We won't be on there, but we're linked in. We're on LinkedIn right now. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch, Ahman Green TV, and we're on my X account as well. So you have no reason not to see this show. You have no reason not to see this show. So if someone see this show, this is on you. So, all right. So talking to my man, Chris, and as we go, and as I mentioned, we always ask our first question into gaming on this show since the Gamers Lounge. What is your gamer origin story? Can you remember the game? Can you remember who it was who introduced it to you? And do you remember how old you was when that game got brought into your life, sir?
Okay. So my dad introduced me to this game. It was on the original Xbox. It was the first ever Xbox.
Ooh.
And it was NFL 2K5 and NBA Live 2005. Those are my two video games right there. Those are classics in the video game market, man. Especially NFL 2K5 with Terrell Owens on the cover.
Yes.
Game right there, man. That's literally, to this day, I still think that's the best football game out to this day. Physics and everything. You gotta check that out.
Because as physics, we know physics. Like we as athletes, we know especially I'll say especially running backs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we know a sense, we grab a sense. And I'll tell this to people all the time. Like I would grab the sense when I saw Brian Urlacher, and he was lined up across me, and we had the play already called in my head. I knew certain plays that if I saw him do this, like I knew he was going to go either left or right. I could read his moves before he started moving. Right. So we understand that physics, and to say that, so that means they got back in 05, the developers
have that down, man. They have that down. You were just playing Madden, so you know.
Yes.
When it comes down to the presentation, they even had that spot on too. They had the fans tailgating. They had Chris Boomer calling the game. It was so nostalgic, man. You got to check that game out. Gotcha. And then also another game that I was really heavily into was Rainbow Six Vegas. That was right there. That is the.
I got that. You know what? I still got that.
You still got that game, man. I'll pay for that game right now to get that back. I need that campaign, man. That was my game right there.
Oh man,
classic.
Oh man, yeah, that was a good one. So my classics for me, real quick. I was an '80s kid, so I was on the Nintendo. So I was on the NES. I was Tecmo Bowl. I was double dribble, Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, Gyromite, and then Metroid and Contra. So those are my like ones I could play all day long. Like
that Duck Hunt, that came with the shotgun, right?
Yep. A pistol. It was a little pistol.
The pistol, right?
Yeah, they got a shotgun now on Wii. Like the Wii, they pulled out the double barrel.
The real deal one.
I remember when my wife, she actually went to the store and bought it for me, and it's like, I said, "What's that? What game is that for?" She says, "For the Wii, one of the Wii games." I'm like, "That's a double barrel shotty." I'm like, man, they just stepped up their game in Nintendo. They pulling out, went from a pistol to a shotgun. They like, okay, we're gonna make sure that you get the job done. So it's all right. Let's get into a little bit of football conversation, just a tad bit, but. So right now, the current state where your season just ended with the Raiders. So how do you feel about being a part of that team right now and where things ended for the season?
Obviously, we wanted the season to end a lot better than what it did. But considering where we're moving now, the draft capital we have, the players that we had coming in, I was in the building a couple weeks ago. I came back to obviously do my engagement with my soon-to-be wife.
Matter of fact, congratulations on that. If you go to his social, you go to Chris's social, Chris Charisma, at Chris Charisma. He's engaged. He's proposing to his now fiance. Beautiful
Thank
job,
you,
man.
Thank you, man. Yep. But I've been in the building, and there was obviously a report that came out where Clint said, there's 25 to 30 guys working out in the building. I don't know how usual that is in the off season for guys to be in the building working out, but we have a great culture brewing. So I'm loving the way things are headed right now.
Speaking from a seasoned veteran right here, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. Because I'll say in Green Bay, and during our best years from 01, when I was playing, from 01 to 04, we would bare minimum we'll have 50 guys. We had a crew of guys, and guys would fly in just for like some guys would just fly in during the week so they could get their workout and then fly back home.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm living here. I'm saving money.
Saving money, literally.
I'll put my kids in the school in Green Bay. Y'all could be mad at me if you want, but we ain't flying back and forth to Nebraska. That's the football. I say that's a professional athlete or football player's life right there. Is trying to decide in the offseason what you're gonna do.
Yeah, every time that's the crossroad you come to every time.
Yeah. In the chat, we got my man Ludio Juan, man. How you doing? We getting ready for MGC here in the bottom. I'll say at the end of the month now. So next question for you, Chris and Alan. Whenever you got a question, just give me, tap me on the mic or give me a wink or something. All right, and let me know. So when you hear for Chris, when you hear NFL running back, what goes through your mind considering your journey to get where you are right now?
When I hear NFL running back to get where, a lot of it takes a lot of obvious grit, toughness, resilience, perseverance to obviously make that reality. Those are a couple words that I would use to describe what it takes to even play that position, especially at this high of a level. And you know that yourself personally.
Yep.
You played 12 years, you played for Packers all-time leading rush. You know what it takes to get to that point. You know, you played in the cold, takes a lot of perseverance.
Yep.
Getting hit, getting back up in that cold takes a lot of resilience.
Yeah.
I play in 100-degree weather out of Vegas. You know, our practice field is never cold. Even in December, it was like 90 degrees.
Oh wow.
So it's like I never dealt with, like, I'm not gonna say I never dealt, but right now in my NFL career, I haven't dealt with the cold yet. I don't know what it's like to get hit by grown men at this high of a level in the cold right now.
If you ain't ready for it, it hurts.
It hurts. It definitely do hurt. I'm from the Northeast. I played a good amount of ball in the Northeast, and it gets cold over here. But like that Green Bay, Wisconsin cold. So I'm
it's a little
excited to see what
different.
that's like, man. But those are the words I'd say to describe that.
Yeah. And you so that mindset, like, it's so diabolical to where I remember my second year. Was it my second year? No, my first year in Green Bay. I had a teammate. He's a linebacker, Nate Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Ole Miss, and so he grew, and he was from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, so it's just weird how that happened. I was like, what? And we never knew each other, but he went to Ole Miss, so he went to college in a warm place, and he come back, and he adapt just like we do as players, right? We adapt to our climate wherever we are. And I remember noticing him one day. We're going out to a game. This regular season. It's December. It's below 40. And he had put on extra grease, Vaseline on his own. Right. And when I first saw it, it didn't click. Then when I looked again and it clicked, I said, it's locking in the more, the heat, like on chapstick. Because I'm like, bro, I can't do that. He's like, hey, G, so I said, hey, man, you getting warm, huh? He's like, yup. I said, smart kid. I said, smart dude. I said, I can't do that, though, because I run with the ball.
We run with the ball. Exactly. That's the one gripe we can't do.
No, that's what I'd be signing our contract to retire, pretty much. We do that. We put Vaseline on our arms trying to tote the rock.
Let that ball come out. It's over.
Yeah. And so he wore that, and then he went outside in a tank top. So then here's the mind games. He was playing with the other team. Like, I think we had Tampa that week, too. And, they coming from Florida where it's probably 60 degrees in December, if that. So playing those mind games. And that would mess with the other players' heads. Some of them, not all, some. But I remember Warren Sapp that game, too, came up to me. He's like, look, y'all can have this. y'all got it. We already in the playoffs. Y'all suck. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, my God. Whatever.
I'm like, whatever. I'm like, whatever, dude. So, all right. But yeah, as you mentioned, Chris, you live, you played ball up in the Northeast, so you know a little bit about that temperature drop there. So growing up, where you from? Lawrence, if correct, New York, correct? What first made you fall in love playing football?
What made me fall in love was it was actually a little bit before I started playing, before I got registered into football. It was that Super Bowl in 2008. I believe it was the Giants versus the Patriots. And I believe it was the helmet catch. Watching the Giants coming back. Yeah,
Manningham with that catch. That was a
hell of a catch, man. That blew my mind away, honestly. And just watching the Giants come back in that game, just watching the whole Giants playoff run. I was a huge Giants fan growing up.
Right.
Just watching them go through the playoffs as the underdog, going against the Patriots, who were 16-0. I believe they were on their way to a perfect season, and the Giants just came and ruined that whole thing. And Tom Brady was getting killed that game, man. It was good. He was getting killed that game. So it was one of those games that actually made me very interested in the game, and that's where I started to fall in love with it. And obviously, when I put the pads on, started hitting some folks, started touching that rock, getting to the end zone. That's really where that love came from, man. Because I started playing running back immediately.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I started playing football.
That was gonna be my next question, because I was on defense.
You started on defense?
First year of tackle football, anyway. Flag football, it was running back, but tackle, the coach who I found out later, that's a long story, and then we're not here for me right now. He put me there because he had something against me, so he put me at left corner. I was like, I knew how to play it. I figured I played with my friends in the neighborhood, so I kind of had the idea. So that's where I started at, and then offense came later that season. Then running back came.
How did it come to you in terms of like getting that chance at running back?
Oh man, it was just like, for me, it was just football. Like, I just wanted to play football. it didn't matter where I went because I had two older brothers that played high school football.
Yep.
And they were running backs. One was a running back, one was a fullback. And then my dad was offensive lineman. So, that upbringing right there, yeah, be having an old lineman as a dad, hey, nothing came for free.
At all.
Nothing came for free in my household, especially for my two older brothers. Right. My two older brothers beat me up, literally. So I had that mindset was like instilled right away, for myself at that age too. So for me, it was just getting on a uniform. Like, oh man, I got a helmet, I got a shoulder pads. I was
living in the moment, man.
Right. I was living in the moment. But the one part that I liked more than just being a running back and I said more than being a running back was I got the chance to hit people because I was playing in a neighborhood so I born in Nebraska, but growing up in a neighborhood in Los Angeles, California. And so I was playing against 14 and 12-year-olds when I was 7. And they were rocking my world, but I would get up, okay, you got me, I get back on the field. They'd be like, oh, little dude's okay. He's balling. Okay. So that was a part of it. I was like, I don't care what you put me at. I'm going to play football. That was kind of my mindset when I was just getting into it. Then a couple years passed. Then I started to like, okay, I played wide receiver 1 year and then run it back again and then strong safety. And I'm like, okay, on defense, I like this position, which was between strong safety and middle linebacker. And then on offense was running back and wide receiver, but I was like, if I were
intangibles,
right. I was like both. So what about yourself? Were you ever bouncing around in any of those positions?
Like I said, my first year I started playing running back, but then also the next year after that, I started playing both sides, and that's when I started playing corner. I actually fell in love with playing corner.
Okay.
Up until I was 12, and I remember it was the first game of the season. I remember I just wanted to be solely like a defensive back. But there was this one play that happened at the end of the game. I believe the score was we were up 0-6. I was 12 years old. I was playing corner, fourth quarter with like 20 seconds left to go. And I had this one-on-one with this. I was 12, so I was like 5'4" at the time. The wide receiver was like at least like 5'8", 5'9". So he had 5 inches on me.
Right.
And the quarterback drops back, throws it up to my side, one-on-one with the guy. He catches it on my back.
Oh.
For the game-winning touchdown. I kid you not. From that day, I never played defense after that. I literally did not play defense after that day.
You said I'm out.
So you can keep me on the other side of the ball. I will be fine over there.
Oh, man.
That's where I just became like a sole offensive guy from 12 all the way till now, honestly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had that moment. I remember one guy like that. He was longer than me.
Yep.
And he caught a ball, it was like a post, and all I could see is his legs passing me up.
That is the worst feeling in the world.
And I couldn't catch him. I'm like, this is probably the only person I will not catch in my life. I am not catching this dude right now.
I gotta be like top 2 most helpless moments.
Yes, you're like, right? I'm like, and I'm like I'm like, if I jump, I'm gonna miss. Don't jump. Because jumping is like the worst.
It's gonna make it look worse, honestly.
Yes, jumping in football looks the worst. It's like, what is it compared to any other sport? Trying to think. In basketball, it's like going up for a rebound. When somebody's dunking, like that.
Then you get dunked on.
Yeah, that don't look good. That's basically what happened. It's like I got dunked on, just like we both been down that aisle. So, but let's fast forward to high school. Once you get to high school, man, things obviously seem like you locked in there. You rush you have amazing seasons, 1,800 yards, 25 touchdowns. So when did you realize you had something special in yourself? Then, hey, man, I could go to the next level of football after this and keep going.
Oh, it's funny. I actually didn't have that at that moment. The year before that season, I had blew out my knee. I had tore my ACL, LCL, and a piece of my hamstring. So all the offers that I did have previously, I lost all of them. Lost every single one. And that's that year when I did lock in fully and I was healthy and I played, my balls off. They came back with PWOs, preferred walk-ons.
Yep.
And for me, considering my situation, I just didn't think it was financially right for me to go down that path. I believed if I wanted to continue playing football, I had to play, for free. I'd rather not be paying to play ball, 30,000, being a walk on and
Right.
sitting the bench and wasting my time. So, I bet on myself and I went to JUCO, and that was a really humbling experience in my life that really made me grow up and be a man, be the man that I am today, at least.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you mentioned that knee injury. So, and when getting that knee injury, what impact did it have on your mindset? Especially like you said, you were trying to get recruited still. So what was the mindset, especially when in terms of the recruiting side of it, and all that slowing down, like you had mentioned?
It made me look to my faith to get me out of that dark hole that I was in. I was really going through it mentally. When you have an injury like that, you go through depressive episodes. You're sitting there on the couch multiple weeks, months. You can't really do anything. You're couch ridden. Your appetite's gone. You're losing all your muscles because you're experiencing atrophy because you're just laying there all day.
Right.
And it made me look to my faith, realize that there's a bigger plan. The rehab and all that is just building my resilience and perseverance for whatever God had ahead of me. And it was clear that he had a lot ahead of me because I had, the JUCO route. I went through that aspect, and then, my troubles at the Division I level. It was a little tough for me, health wise. And then, obviously going through the rest of my journey in life, on and off the field.
Gotcha. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, man. I know. Yeah, I've had that injury. I've had injuries too. I had one and big, and only one I had was in at the pro level. My 05 season against the Packers, I tore my right quad. So it was something where it was similar. They, most people looked at that as an ACL too.
That's even worse than ACL,
right? And the doctor, Doc McKenzie, who was our team doctor, shout out to Doc McKenzie. I think he just stepped down at the Green Bay Packers. Fantastic doctor. He was a little worried, through my injury. He was worried. Because he's like, I just repaired Santana Dotson's quad, Steve Warren's quad, and they didn't, come back as the same people, as the same athletic.
Oh, wow, he told you that.
Right. So he was worried. So he was like, man, well, he was being honest. That's what I loved about him. And that whole Packers training staff is that they were honest about any injury. They'll tell you straight up because they needed to know if we could do it or not. Like because I remember I had ankle sprains where I knew with their treatment, I was going to be able to play on Saturday or Sunday because they just had that type of staff. So when he told me that, I was like, okay, I know what's up.
Real deal.
Yeah, it's the real deal. And I don't like people sugarcoating things because one, the way my dad being an old lineman and my mom just being who she was, fantastic human being, and being a parent, they never beat around the bush with me. They tell me what. I remember my one time I rage quit, one and only time in my life. I threw my Sega controller, Sega Genesis.
At the TV?
At the TV, because I was playing Madden. I was first generation Madden. And I had the 49ers, and Jerry Rice should have caught the pass, and it got picked off. And so I was mad. Boom, threw the controller. And my mom said, she came in the room. She's like, what's all that damn racket? I said, it's me. The game is cheating. I was like, I threw a ball and should have got caught by Jerry Rice. He's the best wide receiver in the league. She was like, okay. She said, you break it, you buy it. I was like, huh?
What?
I'm 8, maybe 9. I'm like, huh? Time out. What? Oh, I know what that means. Oh, dang. So yeah, don't sugarcoat it. And so that was him. And when he said that just got my mindset locked in on what I got to do to rehab. It's gonna be long. Like you said, I remember those moments sitting in the bed, not having you can't do anything. You can't do nothing. You got I had the machine on my leg moving my leg. To keep the circulation. You remember that?
Yeah. It would go up, down for just hours.
I was like, this is what
treacherous.
Hell, if this is what hell is gonna be, okay, I could get out of this. I'm gonna try my best. Oh man. Before I ask another question, Alan, you got anything you want to ask Chris?
Yeah, actually I had a couple questions.
Yeah. What's up, man?
All right, so the first question I had was, what do you think is the most challenging part of being a running back?
Most challenging part? Man, I feel like we could both attest to this, man. It's
yeah.
You got to get hit
yes.
every single play. It doesn't matter if you're getting the ball or you're not getting the ball. You got to be expected to hit every single play.
Yes, sir.
You know, wide receivers, they got those little walk off, that little fake. They don't allow that now. They don't play that to coaches these days. But there was some guys that could get away with it, where they'll take a play off and just do a fake little route jog off. But us running backs, you do that, you done. You done.
And I know somebody very, very famous wide receiver. Shout out to my boy Randy Moss. We also the same high school class, 1995. What's up? Whoop whoop. USA Today All-American. But he's on video doing that. He took a play off during the run. The run play was on the other side of the field. It had to be his rookie year or his second year, his second or third year. And he took a play off where he put a hand on the hip and was watching the play happen.
I saw that. I saw that.
So yeah, I've seen that happen.
Wide receiver could definitely get away with that, man. But us, nope. There's no players off for us, man.
I was gonna say my second question was, what is the most important skill that a running back needs to have both on and off the field?
Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one.
That's a good one, man. The most important skill on and off the field.
I like that one.
Being able to quickly make decisions. There's no hesitation. You can't hesitate in aspects of life, and you can't hesitate on the field. You know, Ahman, if you make that hesitation when you see a hole, especially at this league, that hole is open for 0.5, maybe 0.4 seconds. If you don't take that and go, it's done. You missed that hole. Now, what could have been maybe 5 yards turned into -1, -2. So a lot of that, I'd say, I'd attest to making decisions quick.
Yeah,
is an important skill you need as a running back.
Definitely, I agree with that 100%. It's all instinct. It's all instincts. What you see, what's in front of you. And I know Edgar. I don't know who was your coach there once he left, but between Edgar and I had Sylvester Crooms, when they saw something on film, like on game film, and we watch film. Game happens on Sunday or Monday night. Then the next day, Tuesday or Monday, we're watching film. As a former running back, Edgar was, so he would ask me the question, like if he saw, he was like, "What did you see, AG?" I remember when he first asked me, that was the first time any coach had asked me that about being a running back. Because he's like, because Chris, you know this, the run play, just like the pass play, is a design.
It is.
And you suppose the lines on the paper that has the arrow pointing to a certain direction, you're supposed to go that way, right?
And that's it.
And it's like, wait a minute. That arrow's, yes, it's somebody that you wrote that on the paper, but that's where I couldn't go that way because my tackle was getting set in my lap on that play.
You got to make something happen.
Right. So I had to make, so my coach was, I remember when they first asked me that, it was my second or third year at Green Bay, say, "So what did your eyes tell you to do?" I said, "Thank you."
That's their favorite. That's their favorite phrase, man.
I'm like, I like that question because it's like, all right, now I get to explain myself on why I went that way instead of the way I was supposed to go. That was on our playbook, piece of paper. So and that's when the coaches figured out how to answer that question, then I was like, okay, we're not gonna have no argument now. So because I'll be sitting there arguing. I will argue. I had a couple arguments with my coaches. Watching film. So
that kind of brings me to my next one. So if you could change anything so far, Chris, or give advice to athletes hoping to be drafted or in the process of being drafted, what would it be?
Be you. A lot of people try to be someone that they're not, There's just this fine line of knowing your intangibles, knowing your niche, knowing your craft and what you're good at, and honing on those skills and making sure you perfect that to yourself. Don't try to be, somebody else and something else that you see. That's my biggest gripe that I've had to learn myself growing up.
All right, I'm gonna stop with the heavy hitters. This is some really good advice. I don't even play, in stuff like sports. I'm not a big sports dude, but like the advice you're giving, that carries on off the field. That's like life advice. That's some serious life advice.
Yeah,
we appreciate that. I was gonna say, out of and Ahman's brought this up for a couple people too. So who has the best fans out of any of the stadiums you visited? Just an overall like welcoming, good experience. Who would you say? What teams got the
welcoming?
Yeah, that's like a trick question.
That is a trick question.
Well, good sportsmanship. Just like like Ahman was talking. I forgot what team you were talking about. You're like, man, they were fun. Like they had they were giving us crap, but at the same time they were still having a good time. Like it wasn't like
I had a few like that.
You did?
Right. Yeah, I did. It was the matter of fact, yo fans.
The Raiders, right?
The Raider fans when they were back in Oakland, Alameda. That's when I played against them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a couple instances, 2 times. Once when I was a Seahawk, when the Seahawks used to be in the AFC, back in the back when. That's me being season. That's me being seasoned. And then me as a Packer.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first time I'm in warm up, so this is before our warm up. We go out on our own. So this is not the team warm up. This is my own. I got my headsets on. I'm doing some high knees. I'm doing some dynamic movement stuff. And I hear the fan go, Joey, you suck. And I'm like, who you talking to? You. I'm like, my name ain't Joey. So I'm like, he like, man, whatever. I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. Bye. I go in and I figured out, I'm like, wait a minute. He talking about my teammate Joey Galloway, the wide receiver. I play with Joey from Ohio State. I was like, so I see Joey getting his spat on. Hey JG, he's like, "What's up?" I said, "You got somebody out there want to talk to you." and then the other time was I was a Packer and I came there and they were just talking. It was Packer and Raiders in that old stadium. So it was Monday Night Football,
baseball field, right?
Yep, the base. Oh, I hated that field. I hated it, but you know what? It ain't I can't do nothing about it. So I had to ride and die on it. I just made sure I didn't get tackled on the dirt.
Dirt. Yeah,
it sucks. I mean, I played baseball too, so I was like, it sucks only because in baseball, you only know you're gonna slide on it on your legs, not your shoulders.
Not your whole arm. Yeah. You know us, we can't wear sleeves.
Nope.
So that's a done deal.
No, yeah, you're gonna lose skin. It's gonna be a band-aid we call strawberries, Alan. When you have that scratch, it's all red. That's a strawberry. That is, and it's it could get if you don't treat that thing right, it's gonna get infected.
Right, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Oh man. So you got anything else for him?
Last one, I think, because I want to keep whatever too long. But from a vet to someone who's currently playing, what advice would you give to Chris?
Vet. Man,
that's a question for Ahman. Just to like from someone. There you go. So from that to Chris, what advice would you give from one running back to another?
Oh man. Oh yeah. I'll say for one, always like now off season. Think about what other running backs may be doing. And I want to say do what they do, but just know if you're grinding, they grinding.
They grinding.
Right? And then find one thing you could get better at in the offseason. So every offseason, I figured out, I remember my first year in Green Bay, after my first season there, it was only because I didn't have a lot of reps because I wasn't a starter in Seattle for 2 years. So in my first year, which was my third year in the NFL, I got traded to Green Bay. And getting acclimated to that offense, I would have more play, more play load coming down my lane, which was great. But some of the plays where I was running routes, I was running a burst route, a Texas route, flat, all the stuff that that I know, and shoot route, all that. So I'm like, man, I got to work on my route running, because sometimes the route I would come out the break too slow for Brett to hit me. He's like waiting to throw it. He's like, AG, man, come on, you got to come out that break. I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, I learned So that one off season, I worked on my routes, and then every other off season like that, I worked on one thing, like either pass protection, reading blitzes, reading zones on the run, and got good at that. Talking with my old linemen, you know. So like every off season, try to find one thing that you got to get better. Yep. So I said, because throughout your career, one thing has happened in football. There's one thing coming in. It's a young man's game.
It is.
When you're young, if you that dude, you get opportunity, you're gonna be out there. As you get older, on the offensive side, you get slower. They're gonna find a way to move you, and so you want to be smarter than the next man. You know, I remember my rookie year, Sam Adams. He was a D lineman out of Texas A&M. I'll never forget this. We're in in-team scrimmage. So this is during training camp, and I bounced the ball to the outside, to the left side of the field. And he's a D lineman. He played next to Cortez Kennedy, right? So I bounced it. And I'm like, oh, I'm out. All of a sudden, I see his big ass right there. I'm like, I was 10 yards away. How'd you? Oh, I hit the angle on you, rookie. I was like, oh, you just taught me something. So just know you playing against bigger and smarter dudes too.
Smarter dudes.
So that means get your IQ up. You know, Leroy Butler, another example. I remember when I first got to Green Bay. I had been there 2 years though, so my route running is getting better. But I ran this a wheel route. You know, look to the flat, then turn it up. And I guess I turned it up, and I kind of felt it, but I didn't. You know, it's practice. So I was like, I turned it up too fast, and sure enough, it got picked. Because he's like, oh, I knew you were coming my way. You didn't even look to the flat. You didn't even look to the quarterback. You just turned it right up. He's like, so you gave me an easy read. Thank you. You know? So I'm like, okay. So yeah, I say if you can, your IQ. Because at the running back, we see everything. We feel everything. We're right there. Like you said, every play we're getting quarterback. We're right next to the quarterback. So every play we're getting contacted on something. But what we can do from watching film to asking questions to the quarterback, like what you looking at over there, if it's that coverage, like talking to your old lineman. I think we did that in Green Bay in my second year. Third year was our biggest year, where we started meeting with the offensive line. And so we got to ask questions to the offensive line. Hey man, on that power, how are you going to make that block if this happens? He's like, all right, I'm gonna do if they penetrate, then I'm gonna go like this. And I'm like, okay, so then that means I'll go that way. He's like, bingo.
Exactly.
So ISO, what'll happen if you do this if they penetrate and on an ISO play, what you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna just lay on them, and then you might have to jump over me or something, or or you'll see me on the ground. So then you could know where to go. I'm like, thank you. So like stuff like that, because as you get older, your body's gonna slow down.
It is.
It's not that you slower. That you slow. It's just there's young people. It's a young man's game. So that's the long answer of my advice to you.
I appreciate that,
as a football player and as a running back.
Thank you.
There you go. Crew Dog in chat had one question too. He said, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself for just 15 minutes, what would you tell yourself?
Ooh.
That's a good one. I like that one.
15 minutes. This is a question towards me.
Yes, and yeah.
It's a question towards you.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, go back to myself and talk to myself 15 minutes. Man, I would just go through when I was coming up, I had this over the top mindset. And the biggest thing I'd say was be humble early on. Humbleness was something that really taught me a lot. It taught me it's more to you than what's out there.
I like it.
A lot of the world doesn't revolve around you. You got to think about others. You got to think about yourself. Take it to a certain point where I had obviously went to my faith and realized I had to, love others the way that, God loved the church. Obviously, I had to bring that into many different aspects of life, relationships on and off the field, circling back to family in every aspect. And it made just life going through that and on and off the field a lot easier in that sense. So obviously biggest thing I bring up is my faith in, the humbleness that I need to carry myself with when I get to growing up, getting older and wiser.
Nice. Yeah, great answer. You mentioned it real quick. It wasn't a question. You kind of explained it to me because I missed it. But you talked about your injury a little bit. So when that was college, is that were you at JUCO or high school? Or high school. So can you explain that injury real quick for the viewers or the listeners real quick? Because I know the injury you had, and then
I suffered.
Yep, you suffered injury. You suffered, and then the recovery process of that. You kind of talked about it already, but I want to get a little bit more depth into it. Yeah, a little bit deeper on it.
So I had tore my ACL, my LCL. So the ACL was the one
right there
in the inner knee. The LCL is that little strand outside, and then the hamstring is obviously the back side of your leg.
Yeah, it attaches to all that, basically. And it's kind of like what Adrian Peterson tore.
It is exactly what he tore. Yep. Except he tore the ACL and the MCL.
Yeah, he tore everything.
They tore everything, actually, really.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I had tore all that, and the recovery process was brutal. It was a lot. First thing was obviously I had suffered a lot of muscle atrophy, so the biggest thing was obviously getting my leg back up to the size that my right leg should be at.
Yep.
And, it's funny because still to this day, I still see the little minuscule differences because it feels like it's never going to get the same. But for some reason, it feels stronger than what my right leg is. And my right leg,
Is that your dominant leg?
That's my dominant leg. That's my non-surgery leg. It's stronger than my non-surgery leg. And I think it's because of the amount of time and effort I had put into making sure it was at that point. So it was like physical therapy, 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
The usual exercises of squats, ankle weights, just getting the movement back. That's really what the recovery process was, because in an injury like that, you start to get, I'm sure with your quad, certain movements, certain cuts, like the way you move, it just doesn't feel the same until you start repping it out and making sure it feels like how it used to when you used to do it before the injury.
Correct. Yeah. And I think you do that as a player. It doesn't matter the sport. When you have a major injury, you try to mentally duplicate that speed, because I remember my first time back on the football field was in training camp the following season, the 2006 season. And the only thing I was even worried about running the ball. I was worried about picking up the blitz, right? Because protecting my quarterback. Because I was like, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna learn how to run again. That's just who I am. But I was like, if anything, I gotta be able to stop a linebacker, right? Head
That's
on.
number one.
Yeah, not head on, not just a cut block. To be able to get here and then have to rock with him. And I remember asking one of my teammates, Brady Papinga, he played at BYU. And he was my dude. He was a good friend of mine on the defensive side. And I said, Pop. He's like, what's up, AG? I said, when we go out, when I come out today, he said, they got you in pass now? I'm like, yeah, they upgraded me. I'm like, bet. I said, can you come help me with blitz pickup? I said, because you the only guy that's going to be real. Like, he's going to come full tilt no matter what. He's not going to think about my injury, because I can't think about my injury. Because that's the other side of it too, right? When you out there back on the field, you can't think about the injury.
Nope.
You got to psych yourself out.
Slow you down.
Right. Explain that part of it too.
Yeah, like you said.
That psych out.
For me, I had the brace to kind of crutch it a little bit. I wore it my first year back. I obviously got off of it once I got into the JUCO level. But like you said, you got to psych yourself out. You got to act like you never had it. And that's where the reps of getting that field work in, the footwork, making sure when you do those cuts, you get enough reps at it so it doesn't feel like awkward. So it feels like how it did before. And obviously, you have your little psych out moments where you're scared to, but once you get that first one in a real game speed type, like you said, where you got into practice and went full tilt with that dude, and it made you, okay, I could actually do this. I feel all right in this type of movement now. And that's really just where you got to get to. You just got to put on your big boy pants and strap up and, realize that everything's going to be all right once you make that movement.
Yep. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I got a couple more questions. I'll say, because I know we haven't talked about everything. I don't know how much time you got left, but I know you talked about the knee injury. But what was, staying locked in mentally after that injury and maybe other little battles that you had through either college or high school?
Mm-hmm.
So how was that trying to stay in mentally locked in? How was that process?
It was really just having. There's this video that I saw where it's like you gotta have like this delusion. You gotta believe that what you're trying to do and what you're setting yourself out to do, you fully believe that you could do it. And a lot of it comes down to, you know, I this worked for me, but I had went through periods of social isolation where, there's certain times where I believe I wouldn't tell people what my plans were before I planned to do it.
Right.
I made sure that I got it done first before I started talking about and celebrating it. And those are like the biggest things that I would say. I mean, it's a known fact. I believe it's wise advice. I got it from one of my OGs back in the day that I really held on to, and I mean, it really proved itself. The proof is in the pudding with where my life has went in that aspect of getting to where I wanted to go. I just made sure to just stay in my faith and keep that advice that he told me where I wouldn't celebrate something before it even happened. I wouldn't talk about it before it even happened. I'd make sure I did it before it was even, out there in the world for people to put their energy on, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, because we know, we talk about that. I say that a lot about in terms of people's energy and how they react to you when you say stuff.
Exactly.
You say certain things. Oh yeah, I've talked about that. We've talked about it in different ways. Me and Akedo over here.
That's real, man. In every aspect.
Yeah,
you can take that on the field in life. Shoot.
Yeah.
Sometimes even in the video game, when you start talking trash in a certain type of way to the dude, this is why I stay quiet in Madden games. Madden games especially. I do not turn on my mic until I know I'm winning that game.
Hey, that's where we are, right here. We are locked in. I don't say a word.
I don't say a word. I don't care how much I'm up. If I know I'm finna win it, that's when I start talking. But other than that, I'll stay mute the rest of the whole game.
Yeah, that was one of the things my two older brothers taught me. They said, don't ever talk trash in football, period. Really, any sport. But in football, they get to hit you too. So don't say a word. Just play your game. If you could be quiet, be quiet. If you're gonna cheer your friends, like be what is it? Be right down the middle. Don't be trash talking. Just be like, hey man, good game. Good hit.
Good hit.
Something like that.
That's what I was gonna say. The reverse psychology game really does help with a lot of folks, man. They start coming a little softer, a little slower because they feel like, oh, we kind of cool. Man. I don't want to hurt you. That's when you hit to the bow. That's when it's done.
Oh man, we got my man Bear Fan and Yodo at the same time. It says Chris a gamer.
Yeah, man.
You consider? Oh. We're about to get to those questions here to wrap up here. Trust me, guys.
My PS5 over there, right there, just waiting for me to get on the sticks.
Oh, nice. I love it. I love it. But man, so far, man, your story very powerful, man. I love the story, especially when you come out come out of something that tested your will, right? That tested who you are as a person. You were able to develop from that. That means you got bigger, better. You got stronger, and you walk through that. So what message from that story, from your story, do you have for young athletes going through adversity right now?
I'm going through adversity. So, like I said, that delusion that what you set yourself out to do, make sure you keep that near and dear. Keep it to yourself. Yeah. Keep it to yourself. Have that goal in mind, but know that when you had set yourself out to do it, just know that you just got to put in the work and just keep quiet about it. Keep your head down, keep working, keep your faith up. That's the biggest thing when things get tough, because when you go through situations like that, and with the advice that I just gave you, there's only really one person you could count on. Obviously, you want to look to your loved ones, your mother, but in certain situations, sometimes the only person you can look to is God. And that's a big thing that I've done throughout my life. To get through the struggles that I've been through, especially the JUCO, to touch on that a little bit, the JUCO side of things, I'm not sure if you've watched Last Chance U, but
I have.
You have, right?
I have, and my son was a JUCO kid as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So you know already.
I know the JUCO. From his point of view, I know from his, as a parent watching. But I'll let you tell your story.
So there was a particular season that I really resonated with, and that was season 3, because it felt like the first 2 seasons, it was like they still kind of had that little aspect of college, but the season 3 Laney College, where they showed, kids sleeping in their car,
yes,
kids
I remember
working
that one. Yep.
right after practice. That's literally what I had to go through. I had to sit there, work out in the morning, early morning, 4 to 5 a.m., go to class 7 to 3. 4 to 6, I had, practice and meetings, and then 7 to 12, I was working either retail or I was doing Uber Eats or Instacart to make some money that night so I could eat that night. It really made you really come into this like survival mechanism where it was just like, I got to do whatever it takes to make it to wherever I want to go. So that's like one of those things that had really changed me for the better, I believe. And would you be able to repeat the final end of that question?
Say, what's your message to young athletes going through adversity?
So when you're going through stuff like that, obviously, like I said, the faith, the illusion, but also just being consistent in your workload. It's tough when you're going through those times, but just know that as you keep stacking days, I mean, the reward at the end is going to be more than you had envisioned.
Yeah.
I had read this book called Atomic Habits where I forgot what chapter it was, but it had said like, little minuscule changes may not seem like much in the moment, but one day it's just going to hit and it's going to be like, wow, like the results are just more than you had even imagined it to be because of those minuscule changes that you had made, that consistency that you had put onto it. It just becomes something special, something big, something bigger than you could have imagined. So that's like the biggest tips that I give to young athletes going through adversity.
Gotcha. I know Alan, he got a couple more questions for you.
I had 2 off of that because one of them played right into one of my questions. It's a harder one, but it's a good one. I was saying, so do you find it better to focus on the moment or visualize your goal / where you want to be? Like, do you rely more on your faith and take it as it comes, or do you try to plan for it?
Play into my faith and live in the moment because I know who the author is writing the story. And as long as I keep my faith and keeping the works, I believe there's a saying called, there is a saying called faith without works is dead. So as long as you have the faith and you work at it, then whatever happens, whatever the result is going to come, then that's basically what was supposed to happen. There's only so much you can control.
That's deep. I know exactly what verse. I know.
That's the verse. Yeah, exactly.
I know where you're coming from with that. And then the other one was, do you think NIL would have benefited you or eased your load in regards to rest, not having to grind as hard as you did for money while having the practice and stuff?
I 100% believe it definitely would have lightened my load, but I also believe it wouldn't have made me the man I am today. I feel like a lot of these kids kind of spoiled in that aspect, and a lot of these kids are taking advantage of the system, which I'm really not liking. I feel like an old soul saying that, and I just graduated a couple years ago. But going through the division, the smaller school route, I obviously didn't have that opportunity to get that. But from what I've seen, it's just I'd rather the path I took any day of the week, man, because it brings along so many characteristics, so much development that makes you a man. And I'm not saying like those guys that went through the NIL route don't have those same things, but sometimes it just feels like they got a little bit easy with terms of the money. They're getting paid millions, man. Like what?
Yes, it's facts. It's just facts.
These kids are getting paid millions to play ball. It's crazy before they even got to professional football or professional basketball, whatever it may be.
Yeah. I just always have to toss out. We bring that up. I bring that up to a lot of our guests just because I like to see where athletes kind of headspace is regarding it. And I think it's important because I think you brought up a good point and a different take on it too. That, what if, you're watching documentaries and videos and living this life and like, that work ethic and that grind and, your faith and just everything that goes into preparing you. I would almost say it probably prepared you better for making those split decisions and having to make harder decisions and stuff, as you mentioned, both on and off the field and stuff that way, and kind of getting your head already prepared in that headspace for what you need to do on the field. And you might not get some of that experience if you're just, if you have the NIL. So that's important. That's big.
No.
Exactly. Exactly, man.
Yeah, that was the same story as my stepson was telling me at JUCO. So some of those right there. Oh yeah, we were driving. He was up in Minnesota, in Mankato. He went to Rochester first. That was the JUCO. He was there for 2 years, and then got up to Mankato, which wasn't far away either. So so he had that rough journey. He's a good kid though. It honed him a little bit.
It grounded him.
Humbled him. Yep. So, and he wasn't one of those a big mouth either. He's quiet. Alan hangs out with him. He knows who he is. Quiet. He might get turned up when you start talking Pokemon, but he was a quiet kid though. But it was just the one thing he learned. I think his freshman year was because I told him, because I remember he started to get recruited. I coached him his senior year in football, and I told him, I said, actually before high school, because I was with him. We met before he got to high school. Me and his mom, and he was a freshman. I remember I said, "Hey, are you hitting the books?" And he's like, "Yeah, I am." This, that, and the other. And then fast forward to his junior year, he's like, "You know what?" I asked him that question again because I always say, "How's the school? How's school going?" That was my first thing when I was seeing him. How you doing? How's school going? Because that was what my brothers used to ask me. And that's how I got used to doing that. And he's like, "It's all right. It's all right.
It's all right."
And so I know what it's all right mean. I was like, okay. And so when he started getting recruited, that's where he saw it. He saw that Wisconsin came at him because he was all state in Wisconsin. But then he got offered I didn't even know this was a thing then, but you might know better than me because you're kind of around your time zone. It was a gray shirt. I was like, gray shirt?
Yeah.
I never heard of no gray. I heard red shirts. I heard of that. That was my generation. But gray shirt? I was like, huh.
Gray shirts before the red shirt.
Correct. And I'm like, that don't sound good, right? And I asked him, like, what was his grades right? And was his grades right and what they look like? And he's like, well, be honest, he said, my freshman and sophomore year, I was a little lax. I was a little lackadaisical. And I said, remember what me and your dad said? We said, your freshman year, they're going to go back. Like when they start recruiting you, they don't just look at your senior and your junior year. They might look at your stats on the football field or the basketball court or the baseball or track, whatever, sport-wise, but they're going to look at their grades from the year 1 all the way through year 4.
Exactly.
And so don't slack your freshman year. And he said, man, I did. So that's why, that's why he had to go the path he went. So that was something we always talk about once he graduated, and he had a couple opportunities here and there, but that's where, like I said, like you talked about, you gotta get focused in on that journey,
tunnel vision down there.
And it starts sometimes, in this space, like if you're going to be a professional, I mean, I say not a professional athlete, but I say you be a college athlete. It has to start before basically while you arrive in high school. That's when it starts. Yep. Exactly. Because if you don't have nothing to do, if you don't take care of business in high school, no matter what it is, even if you just going to college to be an academic, right? You just want to get a full ride academically. Same thing. You got them schools, even though you're not somebody that's headlining newspapers, but you want to come to X school and represent them on the in the books. They want to make sure who they got coming in can handle themselves being on campus. Can't handle themselves being in a classroom and stuff like that. So I've definitely understand that part. So get on to the final couple questions here and some gaming questions coming your way here to see where we at here on it. So in your locker room. So okay, let's think. I'm giving you the game first. Call of Duty. So think Call of Duty for you and your teammates. Chris, you got it? You good? Okay, who of your teammates is winning Call of Duty match? If y'all say, hey, let's go right now. Who in the locker room is that dude on them sticks for Call of Duty?
I'd say I got Deuce Ashton Genty as a friend. The only game I see him on all the time, it's Call of Duty. So I'd have to give that to him, man. I
Okay.
retired a minute ago from that. I can't do it with the new age Call of Duty. I don't know what's going on with the game right now, but he still love that game. He always on that game, so I'd have to give that to him.
Yeah, a lot of people, I say Allen may be one, but I know a couple that are offline right now. They don't like all the futuristic movements, walking on the wall and all that.
I don't mind it so
that
much.
no more, man. I can't.
Yeah, we have this argument every time. I said, look, why don't y'all make the game? You know, they ain't nothing to do about it.
That's Andrew, 100%.
Yeah, that's our boy, one of our boys,
1000%.
Andrew. Yeah, so yeah.
I'm boots on the ground, like I'm real classic with it. Like,
I prefer it
Black Ops 1
that
was my
way.
big one. Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Black Ops 1.
Dude, BO1 wager matches hit different.
Yeah. Exactly. Sticks and stones, one in the chamber, all that. Dude, I care.
Yeah.
Well, that was different because you were taking kids' money, and they would be so mad in the lobby because you were trying to rile people up to double down.
Really?
You were trying to talk crap just to get them to double down so you could get more money.
Hold up.
It was like that, man.
It was live betting.
It was better before there was betting.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean,
and it's funny because you had full control over it with your thumbs. Just how good you were.
Dude, it was rough because
I did
people
not
be
know
like
that.
talking so much crap in the lobby, and I think like a certain number of people had to vote to double down so that way everyone could get paid. And there were some people that were just straight robbing people. And then they tell you to run it back, and then they rob you again.
Oh,
you just be broke.
You be broke.
Yeah, that happened with me. A dude on Madden. He was trying to be on. He was being nice for the first couple rounds, and I'm like, man, I'm too old for this. Like, stop gassing me up. I know what you're doing. Like, I love you to death. He was hustling me for sure. This next question will be a fun question. All right. If your football journey was a video game, what level are you at right now? What level are you on right now?
What's the maximum of levels?
Let's say level. I want to say 50. 50's popping in my head for some reason. 50, level 50.
50
is the top level.
So if I had to put this into like an analogy point, well, obviously you're at level 50 now.
Yeah, 55. I say technically, yeah, I'm 49. Yeah, I'm 1 year away for sure.
Shoot, I'd say 33.
Nice.
Say 33 right now, man. Hopefully. I'm hoping it's 33.
Got it. Yep. Hey, I said you take a little nugget I gave you.
Because every 3 level, every 10 levels, it's the boss. True. I feel like I've gotten at least 3 bosses in my life. High school, the injury.
Yep.
College.
Being JUCO.
So that's level 20, and then obviously my little stint at Wagner. Division 1, where I was dealing with some, struggles.
Yep.
So I'd say, that's my level 33 right now.
Gotcha. So definitely a lot of experience because there's a lot of experience. I could tell you got a lot of knowledge in you. I love it. I love what I'm hearing. A guy who definitely observes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm not much of a talker, man. This is a lot for me.
Hey, I was the same way. Everybody, all my teammates, they be like, Ahman, we like the old Ahman. We don't like this Ahman. You talk too damn much. Yeah, they're like, we need you like, because when now I do an event, like they'll fly me back. Like I'll go back to Wisconsin to watch a game, and then I'll throw in an appearance or a speaking engagement just to make a couple bucks. And I'll do it with one of my teammates. I know Gilbert for one. Gilbert Santana. So Gilbert, the defensive lineman out of KU, and he trash talks me all day long. He loves me, but then he kills me right at the same time. With the mouth. And he's like, he'll look over at me like, we like the old Ahman. Shut up. You talk too damn much. I'm like, well, I do podcasts now, so I gotta talk.
You gotta talk.
I can't sit on a podcast and be like this. I can't do that. So yeah.
You get no viewers doing that.
Right. He's like, man, you talk way too much. So I've always, when I was a player, I was like, dudes even know I could talk. People like, man, do I sign language with you? Like, what's up? I mean, in high school, I'll say this. Back in high school, when I graduated high school, my 5-year, 10-year reunion, even friends and people in high school was like, man, we thought you didn't have a tongue. I'm like,
in high school?
What? I'm like, you saw me hanging out. What had friends? We saw you hanging out, but we never heard you talk. We were like, oh, he can't talk. He must be one of them. He must have a tongue chopped off. I was like, how you not come ask me that question or whatever? You see me hanging out with people, whatever. I said, y'all didn't investigate too hard, whatever. Yeah. All right, to wrap this up, man. So what's next for Mr. Chris Collier here for this offseason? And what is your goal? What's I'd say something that you could share with us looking at outlook for the 2026 season for yourself.
And that advice you gave me, in terms of the off season, find that one thing that could work on, that niche that you need to craft. That's the biggest one. Then what can I look forward to? I mean, my biggest thing is obviously just I came off a year. My first year, I started on the practice squad. Ended up being active roster by week 3. And then from then on, I was active roster for the rest of the time. But I got released from the Ravens, and then I got picked up by the Raiders, and it was a crazy rookie year for me. I went from one end of the country to the next, and so that was a lot. And then my second year, it was my development year. This felt like my redshirt year, where I was able to hone in some skills. Because my first year, I felt like I was kind of just thrown into it.
Yeah. That's what rookie years feels like. Yep.
Yeah.
I was a third rounder. Oh yeah. I know what that feels like.
I came from a small school. So obviously the adjustment of the speed, seeing how different the game plays at this level, what you could get away with, what you can't. I was able to really hone on that this past year, my development year. This felt like a redshirt year. So now it feels like this third year, I'm ready to rock, ready to go, ready to contribute in any way possible that I can. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is obviously contributing to wins for the team in any way that I can.
Yep. Sure. I'm gonna definitely be rooting for the Raiders now.
Thank you for that.
For sure. I'm like, man, I gotta watch my man Chris tonight. See what's up. See what he gonna do.
Man.
Yeah, I want and see, the Raiders is one team that I want to do good because I grew up when they were in LA. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I already know what's going on. I'm a vet. I know guys up in the top office. I know guys on the sidelines with you guys. So I know kind of what's going on. They need to get their stuff together. That's it. I tell people this all the time, and then we'll let you go here. It's football.
It is.
Football's not rocket science. Football is not putting somebody on the moon. Football is scoring touchdowns, and you having dudes to do that. And then you have dudes to stop those dudes. Real easy. It's like watching Space Jam. That's it. They have the Monstars, and you don't. You saw what happened when the Monstars did their thing. They crushed them. They beat them up. That's it. That's sports in itself.
Oh, it is.
It's not rocket science. It's not like ESPN, what NFL Network do, where they make it sound all scientific and this guy does this because he's 6'2" and da-da-da. No.
And he's hitting a certain angle.
No. It's basically, if you got some fast dudes, you match them up, you find the matchup and exploit it. You destroy them. If they got strong dudes in the middle, like Philadelphia's defensive line, where they don't have to rush a linebacker, you know what? Boom, there you go. And dominate it. You do the tush push. Don't cry about it. Deal with it. Learn how to fight it. They figured out a glitch, in rugby. They brought rugby to football. I played rugby. Yeah, and I was like, I'm like, hey, that's what sports is. A lot of it's simple math and it's simple strategy, not what sometimes people get caught up in overanalyzing, as I say. So, but I appreciate you. And then one thing, if you want to share, let people know where fans can follow you and support you in whatever you're doing, obviously on the football field, but on social media or anything like that, if you want to share.
The only social I got right now is Instagram. It's _ Chris Charisma. They can find me there.
Gotcha.
And that's where most of my journey will be shared, and on and off the field.
Yeah. Is your X account still the same? I had posted that one earlier for.
Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter in a minute though. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twitter's been I've been off Twitter for a little bit.
Yep. So
I'll re-download it since you put it on there. I'll re-download it.
Got you. Oh man, but I want to say congratulations, because you are now future planning on living life with your fiance now. That is awesomeness, man.
You had a good photographer for those photos. I saw them on Insta. I was dang.
Hey, that's my boy.
That was my boy, man.
Nice. This is my boy. He's a photographer too. I was just talking about doing a set of professional shots with Alan here. That's what he does for a living.
That's what you do for a living too? Oh.
Yep. He's a
little bit. Yep. I'm doing a graphic and web design for school, and then IT cybersecurity specialist and network support. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely have to get connected with you and that.
For sure.
Lakeshore College.
There you go. There you go. You got my number, Chris, so you can always hit me up anytime. To talk about, because I do. I've mentored guys. One kid I mentored for a long time since high school was KJ Osborne. That was a Viking and a Patriot.
Yeah, I know him.
Yep. So I knew him when he was before all the braids. I was like, what's all that? I like him. I like the braids, but I'm like his uncle. I'm like his uncle.
Old school.
Old school on him. And then Niles Paul is my nephew, and he was a commander, and then a Jaguar, and then last stint was short stint at the 49ers. So got family. Like I said, I've been around this game a long time, and then sports is sports to me. I played football, baseball, basketball growing up, ran track, power lifted. So I understand processes of things, and I'm a leadership developer, basically. So whenever you want to hit me up on anything, playing video games, text me. Matter of fact, text me your gamer tag.
What you got, PlayStation?
I got both. I got everything, man. I'm an esports. I coached esports for about 3.5 years. I was a couple years at Lakeland University, that's in Wisconsin, and then at the University of Nebraska, where I went to school with. So that's I coached. I developed. I helped develop and start two esports programs, and so I'm still in the space because I do this. And I'm doing some stuff in Vegas that hopefully is gonna be some fun stuff with some kids, helping them learn fundamentals and all that in gaming. So there you go. So yeah, text me your gamer tag, please.
ASAP. I'm gonna do that right now.
All right, sir, man. Hey, I appreciate you very much for joining us today. I would ask you to stay, but I know it's been long enough because we break down some other things that's going on in the world of gaming, but I will not ask you to do that. I would say thank you very much for your time spent here with us. Some great questions. The answer was phenomenal. And like I said, I got a little love for some Raiders now. I'm gonna be like, I gotta get on the Raider game today. My boy,
100%, man.
My boy about to tote the rock. Let's get it. I just hope the offense and I would say, look, the owner, GM, y'all better get some help out there for them guys. Come on, man. What y'all doing? Got these kids out there, you ain't got them all. You ain't supporting them properly. What is wrong with y'all? They've been around the game more than you have been in the game, and you can't even get some offensive linemen that could block, defense that could tackle, and we good.
We gonna get it right. We gonna get it right.
I know y'all
gonna get it right.
Yeah, especially if they got Tom Brady in the building. They better listen to him.
Real talk.
They better listen to him. Man, he's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. You don't listen to that? I don't care if a quarterback or not. Win. Right. It's winning, period. So on that note, man, I'll let you go. I'm on the rant right there. So
thank you for the opportunity, brother. I really appreciate it. I had a great time talking with y'all, for real. I'm gonna send you that gamer tag as soon as I get off here, man.
All right, Chris, sounds good, man. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll be talking soon. I know we will, and and jumping on the stick sometime. So I appreciate you, and have a good day, sir.
You too, brother.
Yep. On that note, guys, we're going to jump to a commercial break and get back on quick hitting news bites. We got some crazy stuff going on. People getting laid off all the time, which unfortunately we know that happens in the gaming space. We got Slide Drink coming at you. Here we go. Whether you're deep in the digital world or out exploring the great outdoors, Slide Drink keeps the good times rolling. So power up your play with Slide Boost for energy, Slide Chill to relax, and Slide Dream to recover. No matter where your adventures take you, explore with Slide. Refresh, recharge, and repeat. All right, let me find a tab. Damn, I had some other good stuff I was supposed to pop up on the screen for Chris. I totally forgot. Actually, here's some highlights of Chris right here from when his college days was rolling. Share the screen here. Boom. We just had this young man on the screen here. He is that dude from his JUCO years. Let's watch some tapes on him real quick.
A 45-year-old record.
So that's our guy Chris Collier that was just on for the interview. Find a little tape on him. Might just cut right there. Boom, he's gone. All the way out of there. So that is our guest that was on this afternoon. And we're going to get through these next couple topics real fast here. This is, I believe, before the injury. So obviously out there doing his thing. I meant to ask him, how tall is he?
I think it said at the beginning of the video. I know that's not the same now.
It's like 6 foot, maybe.
Nothing a little Google won't solve.
True.
Supposedly he's only 5 foot. 5'10". He's about my height.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So that's a little film on our guy that just did the fantastic interview with us when he was at his JUCO, I believe Wagner University.
He's only 26. Dang.
He's upstate New York, Lawrence. Is it Lawrence? No, it's not Lawrence. Yeah, it is Lawrence, New York. That's where he is from. But on that note, we're gonna head over to this tab here. All right, let me pause that. Get the audio down. We got Disney. Disney, man. They're making a bid to buy Epic Gaming. And you know Epic, right? You know Fortnite. You got the subscription. I don't. Act it up.
I mean, it's including Game Pass Ultimate now.
Right. And I know you were you aware of this? Because you're a Fortnite guy. It says that Epic. So the title, you see the title.
Yeah, I see it. It's
1.5 billion Epic Games deal meets a complicated reality after mass layoffs. So Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney has sent a memo to employees confirming layoffs of more than 1,000 people, citing a significant drop in Fortnite engagement and a company spending significantly more than they were making. So interesting.
Yeah, I think Disney had invested into Fortnite. That's why they started getting some other collabs. But I think they're paying out more to get certain collaborations and stuff with The Rock. Like to get The Rock as a person and just a bunch of other stuff that they've been doing cost them more money than they were expecting, I guess. And then also what I heard, that's a rumor. Also, what I heard was all the lawsuit stuff and what they had to do for lawyers' fees and everything to get it back on the Google Play Store. Because they had to stay lawyered up and everything else, and then from the lawsuits from Apple and Google and whoever else, and I think there was another. They gotten sued like 4 times. I have no idea, but
wow. Hey, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Gotta use the bathroom. Ugh.
It's all good. That just gives me time to talk about our Discord and socials. We're always looking for people to join our social and our Discord, which I will post in the chat right now. If you guys haven't already and you want to be a part of Gaming with Ahman and I, Atomic, Eeyore, Horseboat, and the gang, we play almost every single day. He does the Pros versus Joes tournament on the last Sunday of the month. Be sure to join the Discord. That's where we talk about everything he posts, where he's at, what he's doing in real life, just pictures, having a good time amongst other gamers and stuff. Join that there. If you're not following us on NIL TV, I will shout myself out
sorry about that.
At NIL Esports. So we also game on there, the Pros versus Joes tournament. That's our sister channel. We're trying to grow that channel out. If you guys haven't already, go follow us on NIL TV Esports, and then for Ahman socials as well. His Instagram, it's Twitter or X, Discord, and the Kick once again. Go ahead and give us a follow on those as well.
Yeah. So, as the news where you left off, Akedo, the news puts fresh scrutiny on Disney 1.5 billion investment into Epic, a deal that new Disney CEO Josh D'Armo has publicly described as a landmark platform partnership because of what obviously success Fortnite has had in the last, for them, 11 years. 2015 was their first year, or 14. So Fortnite's downturn began back in 2025, though. And despite the game remaining one of the most commercially successful titles in the world, Epic has been able to generate consistent momentum season over season. So it's interesting to me to know that the layoffs, come alongside more than $500 million in different identified cost savings across contracting, marketing, and open roles. Wow. So they were paying big bucks to be working for Fortnite. So Sweeney says that the cuts put Epic in a more stable place. I would say if your budget paying employees was $500 million total, what was these employees making and what were their job titles? That's all I want to know. Pay me.
They laid off like the creator of Jonesy, like the big people who
that's
the
what
people
I'm
who
saying.
wrote the story. They shouldn't have laid those people off.
Yeah, these were like executive directors of departments that they let go. So you talking about because you got to say the average Fortune 500 company director of a department, at least bare minimum 150,000, bare minimum, or maybe 100,000. But you talking about, this is Epic though, so they probably making, in the words, up around 350,000 a year. And so to it all to tally up to 500 million, $500 million, like, golly. I just knew they were that dog. They were that team. When I went to E3 that year, when God rest soul to E3, in 2015, and I walked the floor. So what I would do, you saw what I do when at a con, right? I recon the floor like we did at CollectorCon. I recon to go to all the booths, see who's selling what giveaway or what swag is going to be coming or your way if you're at a booth at a certain time. And I did that at E3 in LA at the convention center. And when I saw year one Fortnite booth, year one, it was a double-decker with a fan shop and a restaurant. Year one. This one actually wasn't even year one, because I would say within year one, it wasn't even a full year that they had dropped their game. It was like maybe 8-9 months where I saw a fan shop, a restaurant, and you could go upstairs and eat your food all in one booth, where you got to know this is the LA Convention Center, Los Angeles Convention Center, where per space they were charging anywhere from $7,500 not per foot, but I just remember a space that was the Army got. I worked with a guy, Greg, shout out to Greg Zion. He worked with the Army military on this one thing where he was Pros versus Joe. That's where I got the Pros versus Joe's idea from.
Oh, okay.
And so he had the military there. I was meeting with the Army guys, and we had a booth space that if they would have paid for it, they would have had to pay $7,500. Okay. And so when I saw, of course, so exactly. So I saw your face, Akedo. So knowing that, I'm like, Fortnite Epic made some money.
It's off the microtransactions you be telling me not to buy.
Yeah, they get you. And that's why
you know how much money they make on micro every time they do a collab? Like, it's crazy.
Right. So also, as I continue to read all in the article, Sweeney pointed out to a mix of industry-wide and Epic-specific challenges. So slower growth, weaker consumer spending. Yep, because they've been around for years now. They've been around over 10 years now. So a tougher cost economics across the game industry, because other games are coming out similar, like the finals, like Marvel Rivals, right? Free to download, and then you just buy stuff. So current generation consoles are selling below last generation pace. True. The Xbox, the PlayStation, we already know that, and the Switch is not selling as fast or as much as it used to be. because the prices are going up on everything. So game competing for time against other forms of entertainment, I wouldn't really say that's the great case on that one, because only time big time movies is a thing is during the summer, and that's only 3 months. So I would say that's not a big draw away from playing Fortnite, because trust me, people that go watch movies, they're coming home and playing Fortnite. I don't care what time of day or night they're going to it. Because tonight, actually, when I get off stream here, I'll be going to see Super Mario Brothers Galaxy. All right,
There you go.
And we can talk about it later on Wingman Wednesday.
What up, Naughty?
Inconsistent. What's up, Naughty in the house? Inconsistent Fortnite seasonal content. Now that, Alan, I direct that one to you. Epic.
As far as like the content that they're doing, I mean, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you said, like it says in the article, inconsistent. When you say weird, what's your weird?
Okay, last season was trash. Like they just do weird things. Like they the giant wave thing when we were surfing in, like nobody wanted that. Some people thought it was kind of cool, but the immediate player feedback was,
it was on the island, like coming to the island, like so that's going to be like a tidal
right.
wave.
Normally we just get off the bus and you can fly, but it was hard for us to rotate to get to places where we wanted to land on the other side of the island because of that stupid wave thing. That's why they patched it out to be like 1 out of every 5 or something. It was required that we had to do the stupid wave thing,
right?
And I know it was like a Hollywood, California weird thing that they were trying to go for, but we're just like, okay, we got a lion, a filmmaker, we got Back to the Future. Like it's like
a little bit of everything.
What's the theme here? But like the Greek mythology season, we're like, all right, cool, fire. The Asian one, all right, cool, katanas everywhere. Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kill Bill actually was the other season too. Never mind, not Kill Bill, but there was somebody else. But just like some of the different things that they do, and then just the story gets a little lost. And I think that we focus a lot on the microtransactions. They're also announced that they're shutting down 3 modes. The rocket racing is getting shut down.
No, that's my favorite mode. Come on, man.
Yeah, mine too. Well, too bad. No. So rocket racing is getting shut down. Blitz is getting shut down. The first per FPS,
and probably the brain rot.
Brain rot. No, that supposedly there's going to be a brain rot skin in the shop tonight.
So that's your other favorite one.
That's creator made. That's not even by Epic.
Oh, that's creator made. Oh,
that's
that was
not even by Epic.
Oh,
there's some Joe Schmo made it. They got really popular off of it. And then what they did, and I think this is where they shot themselves in the foot,
right,
was that they allowed creators to monetize, get money from the V-Bucks for playing the custom games.
Mm-hmm.
And they wound up paying the creators probably too much more than they should have. And now they had to lay people off to compensate for kids wanting to spend money on steal the brain rot. So
and I've been other places, Mixer. That's what happened to Mixer. Remember, they were paying too much money for content creators. They paid too much for Shroud and Ninja.
Then that shut down.
They had to shut down.
That's what it was. Festival Battle Stage. Thank you, Naughty. It's Rocket Racing Festival Battle Stage and Ballistic, not Blitz. I misspoke. Nice. It's Ballistic. I always get Blitz and Ballistic mixed up.
Gotcha. So then on the last thing here, Fortnite's mobile presence still in early recovery stages.
Because you had to download it weird. On Apple, you have to download it via their app.
Apple,
it's not on. It's
Apple
not on.
Their money. They want their money for sure.
Well, it's not. That's the whole thing with that too. Was that it's not on the App Store, but you have to download the Epic launcher to download Fortnite to the phone. Fortnite's not allowed, but the Epic Game Store is, and you can download it through the Epic Game Store to iOS. Now it's back on Google Play, but it's just
All right, to continue on reading the article, you can find the article on wdwmagic.com. It says what Epic says comes next. After this massive layoff, despite the cuts, Sweeney framed this as a reset rather than a retreat. Okay, so more of a reset. The roadmap per the memo, so come in with fresh Fortnite seasonal content, gameplay, story, and then live events as well. accelerated developer tools as the Epic transition from Unreal Engine 5 and UEFN toward the Unreal Engine 6. So that is going to be interesting. And you a fan, you're gonna definitely have feedback for them on that when that starts up, Akedo and Naughty. Huge launch plans towards the end of the year, so around Christmas time, I'm assuming, described as the start of the next generation of Epic. And I think this is obviously what they started with The Rock as the new character. And I even see this, in my opinion, a foresight of knowing when you see certain things happen in like a theatrical setting, because this is a theatrical game where it always starts with a movie and then it shows you what you're doing, like what you're trying to earn points on and buy or sell or whatever. That I think the next step for them is making a full-length movie. And I see it. You know, they have all the characters, they have all the IP to make a movie, you know, from having Kanye West to The Rock to football players, basketball players, to Kill Bill characters, to Harry Potter characters, right? So they can have an epic film, i.e. the name, no play on words there. So it's just interesting to see that. That's just on me and what I see. Akedo, what you think? Oh, you muted.
I don't know why I muted myself. Unfortunately, you're probably not wrong. I mean, the kids would love it. It'll be a thing. It's just like I roll my eyes at it because it's like, how much money do you need? You know, did these people need to lose their jobs? You know, like, did you really need to shut down rocket racing? You know, was it like, how much money is it costing you to, like, you know, have some of these other modes and, like, you know, whatever else? And I'm like, there are people that enjoyed it, you know, and they are taking those steps to do, you know, certain things. But it just goes back to the whole thing with, I don't know if it's greed. I don't know if just Fortnite just is getting too greedy with certain things, and that's why they're starting to fail, or they're getting too big for their britches, to where some people are saying this is the downfall of Fortnite, is by letting go of some of these key people, will the quality of the game decline? Because, you know, there are people talking on Reddit, like they're trying to email these people that were let go, like, bro, what do we do? Like you were the one who handled this, and like whatever else.
Yeah, we're going to find out. That's what we're going to find out in the next 6 months. If it was that, the people they let go, then we'll see right away. Like in the next 6 months, that question will get answered.
And the thing about it is, if they are transitioning to Unreal 6, it's already going to be buggy as it is, as they make the transition, and then just the creative tools and whatever else, because you're swapping to a new engine. It's like, you know, the games will look better. And I mean, maybe we'll actually be able to utilize like more power out of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. But no offense, we have enough problems loading, running in the stuff, and the games are lagging and stuff as it is. So you guys are going to increase the graphics, and when you're going to up the price on these consoles and whatever else because of the RAM shortages, amongst everything else, lay off your key devs, rely on more microtransactions for wax skins that we don't even want. And, you know, for some of the other ones, some of the ones we do, like Hercules and Hades and the Disney stuff, all day. But the problem is with Fortnite is they're coming out with too many collaborations too fast.
Right.
They're coming out with too many every other week.
Agree. You know what? I agree with that one. Now that is 100%, because then, just like I told Marie the other day, my wife, about she ate some pizza, or she ate spaghetti, and then she ate the dessert right after. That's like your body's still processing that spaghetti, and now you just ate some of your carrot cake or cookie chocolate chip. One of the things she's a great cook, by the way. Awesome. She ate her sweets right after she ate the spaghetti she made for us for dinner, and she had an upset stomach. And it's like, that's what's going on. You're upsetting the people playing because you're like Harry Potter, Snoop Dogg, Miss Chalet, Ice Cube, you know, Dr. Dre. You know, I wish it was those characters, but there is so many different folk getting thrown. So you're just getting used to seeing this character in the game, and then boom, here's another character, and then another one. Like, so just the pace of it was, I think, I agree with you on that one.
I can't afford it all.
Right. And you know, and then on top of that, you're expecting everybody just to buy. And unfortunately, some people are buying as soon as because you're hitting the dopamine button for everybody that plays video games, right? That's one reason we play video game, because it's a dopamine release, right? That's just facts.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
1,000% dopamine release. So it's even going to get a bigger release when we see our favorite movie character, cartoon character, person on a talk show, because I bought my Master Chief. I have Snoop Dogg. That's probably the limit for me. And then when you show the prices of everything, if you try to buy everything all up, oh man, unless you get the pass, like you mentioned, like you have the pass,
but I would still take me so long to earn it through the pass. Because it's the Fortnite's whole shop is based on impulse, because most of the skins are only available for between 1 day and 3 days for the most part.
And that's terrible. They so that's where they need to be fairer to make sure, one, have it on the market longer, not just 3 or 4 days, because then the quarter you put in stress on young people that shouldn't need stress, because in their head they don't see it as, oh my God, I could wait for that. Like I'm seasoned. I could be like, you know what? Not as somebody that's between the ages of 12 and 18. They'll get stressed out if they missed on a Nicki Minaj or what's the guy that sang at halftime at Super Bowl this year?
What, Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny, because he's on there, and they missed out on the purchase. Then trust me, they're not sleeping good at night because they missed out on Bad Bunny. So Epic, if you're listening in, do not rise to cortisol levels in human beings just because of a graphic. Okay. The game is fun. It's amazingly fun. You have competition. You have leagues of it. It's fun. Don't give me that little waiver. The game is fun.
They shut down my Rocket League. So
I love that too. I'm kind of a little heartbroken at it because I'm a racing game guy. I love Mario Kart. I love Sonic. The Sonic game. Dang it, I can't think of it, but it's Sonic. He has his races game, and Forza. I play a lot of racing games, and now to know that's gone, oh man, that sucks. It kind of sucks. So to the chat, we got Cowboy One. Naughty says, as long as they don't start with mystery boxes. What's that from?
So on like Overwatch where they have the gacha mechanics.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
So
I know exactly.
You don't know how with the skin rarities and stuff like that. They already had that implemented into Fortnite. Naughty.
Got it.
The original Fortnite had that. They had what's the Save the World has with the pinatas that you can open. That's how you would get the cards for the blueprints for the recipes. So they already had a gacha mechanic. They just didn't implement it into the battle royale. But then you would buy the X number of pinatas or whatever it was, and then you would get the blueprints or the rare characters that could help you on Save the World. I only know that because when the Fortnite first came out, I bought the $99 Founders Edition. Back when Drew, I promised Drew when the PUBG Fortnite Battle Royale thing was going on, I said, Drew, this better not become a thing. And here we are, X number of years later. I'm like, oh,
it's a thing. All right, so moving on to the next article I popped up here. Nintendo sues U.S. government as gamers call for more legal action. So Nintendo is known as one of the most litigious companies around. I destroyed that word. Litigious word, whatever. All right, here we go. If there's one company in the world that you don't want to go against in court, oh yeah, of course. You don't want to go against Nintendo in court. That's like going against Bowser and you're told. Okay. So the gaming giant was founded way back in 1888. That means before running water. All right. Before or after trains being made. And this is a video game company that's been around over 200 years. Like, come on. Almost 200 years, I'll say. Almost 200 years. No, yeah, over 200. Am I right? Over 1889? Math.
Less than 200.
Yeah, a little bit less than 200 years. So I was
that would get us to like 2090.
Yeah, 2089. 2089 to be 200 years. So meaning it's got plenty of years of experience to fight in court and know their IP and not mess with it. So with Nintendo has become known for its formidable legal eagles. That means they have lawyers that know how to step up to the plate and get the job done, clamping down on everything from knockoff games to unofficial Super Smash Brother tournaments, which I remember they took that out of CEO a long time ago. So whether YouTubers, game developers, or even supermarkets called Super, that's cold-blooded. That's when you get diabolical, because that's how the NFL is. If the NFL sees anything close to the NFL shield, but the teams themselves, they got to regulate on their own logos. Like the Green Bay Packers, for example, my team a long time ago, I found out, through marketing, obviously, that you can't mess with the G. Georgia is on that. It's on the white line, right? It's on a thin line. Georgia Bulldogs, right? And any other school, Gorman Bishop in Las Vegas is a big prominent high school. They have a G similar to the Green Bay G, but it's orange. So it better be different, or it better be off a little bit. If not, you're gonna be getting somebody knocking on your door. Hey man, this is the Green Bay Packers. We need to have a conversation. So Nintendo is the same way. So a cease and desist from Nintendo is the last thing anyone wants to have or show up on, at your front door. So in what could be Nintendo's biggest court case ever, it's now suing the U.S. government. This is all related to the long-awaited release of Nintendo Switch 2, which finally landed in America in June 2025. So in this article, they previously covered how there were fears that President Trump, with the trade tariffs, would push the price of the Switch through the roof, which we've seen on other occasions in other things, Xbox Game Pass, or any Game Pass for any game for that matter, meeting in which hyped launch for far more smooth sailing for the tech company. So right now we're in the aftermath. So was the first to report on March 6th. The lawsuit was then filed with the U.S. Court of International Trade, aiming for the POTUS use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977. Oh, that was a good year. That was the year I was born. So the IEEPA to levy his boosted tariffs, as well as, and then he is Donald Trump, as well as Nintendo delaying the Switch 2's pre-orders to the U.S. So a lot of jargon there, but in the long and the short of it is that President Trump raised the tariffs, and that's where Nintendo was like, all right, let's delay a little bit so we don't have to pay, or we could pay, but we just take our time, paying what we need to pay because of the tariffs. So on that note, President wanted tech giants like Nintendo to build big in the U.S. So he's trying to force people overseas to bring their companies here, slapping inflated costs on goods imported from Asia, as the majority of hardware and manufactured China, Vietnam, and Cambodia. This is obviously hit Nintendo hard in the pocket, as gamers worried that this going to be passed down to them. So targeting refunds from imposed tariffs, Nintendo case states that this action concerns defense initiation and administration of unlawful trade measures that have to date resulted in the collection of more than $200 billion in tariffs on imports and nearly from all countries. So that's a lot of money they get from imports.
So, one, I like Nintendo.
Yes, I do too.
Even Sony tomorrow is getting a price hike on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
On a related note, so $649 for a disc model, $599 for digital, $899 for the Pro. Now, Nintendo did not raise the price on their Switch 2. It's still been flat since release. And everyone gave Nintendo crap for it. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And I defended Nintendo because it wasn't long after that Xbox and PlayStation raised their price.
Yep.
Then they raised it again. Then Xbox raised the price of their online membership. Nintendo didn't raise the price of their online membership. Then everyone got mad about the $70 price tag or whatever on the games. Everyone, PlayStation and Xbox did it too. Okay, Nintendo got the bad rep for that. But now Nintendo was the first one to make physical games more expensive and digital games slightly cheaper, and instead offset the cost by upping the cost of their accessories in the older model of the Switch versus the current model of the Switch 2.
All right.
So, I mean, it was passed down to gamers, but they did it in an easier kind of way to kind of, make it, accessible a little bit easier for them. Like, dang, that for people who still collect physical media, people are like, well, that should have been that way. Digital should have been cheaper to begin with. That's why Nintendo's like, yeah, that's what we're saying. But I'm saying like Nintendo, they're doing it better than most. I mean, we're not, no one's going to bad an eye at, $900 PlayStation 5 Pro, right? Or $650, PlayStation 5 disc. And these are going on I don't know, 6-7-year-old systems.
Yeah, it
now.
came out in 2020. It was COVID year.
Right. So I'm like, dang. So I mean, like, say what you want about Nintendo, and they're the first ones that went ahead. You know, when unauthorized use of Pokopia and Pokemon is being used by a certain president, you know, Nintendo's the first one to step in and be like, absolutely not. We did not authorize this, and they're the first ones to go ahead, lawyer up.
Yep, and look at that on the screen right now. Ain't that?
That's it.
That's it. There
That's
it is.
That's it.
It says that they are official Nintendo partners. As a consumer, this makes me less likely to buy Nintendo products. Please explain this. Thank you. That was somebody that posted. What's that on X?
The White House had posted that "Make America Great Again."
Yeah,
and Nintendo
the White House
immediately was like, "We do not approve the use of."
Exactly. So that's where they got in trouble with Nintendo.
Yeah, no,
and you know what? I don't mind that. They got every right. Obviously, they're in another country, so they ain't scared of us.
They were waiting, bro.
To do this is we know this is nothing but Trump right here. You know, I never met the guy, but right now, this is some of his tactics. But they might have to pay up for this one.
Go ahead and get your money, Nintendo.
Yeah, they might have to pay up for this one. So on that note, let's head on out. We got to do some more topics. We got to get through the show because I got to get my date ready because we're going to see Super Mario Bros. Galaxy. So let's head up for that. The Digital Divide fundraiser. Head over to the link. I don't have the T-shirt on today, but it's that you see this dude right there. The statue is a statue of me right there. I'm on a T-shirt that says "All-Time Leader Rusher," and we're doing a fundraiser where we raising money, to build out esports facilities in high schools, in boys and girls clubs, in middle schools, and elementary schools across the country. We got our first one. I don't know if I think I told you this the other night.
You did tell me. I was gonna say technically they're saving money to get an autograph and a shirt by you that way. I'm like, technically.
Well, like unlike Fortnite, Epic, where you get the T-shirt, you can get the T-shirt for a donation, or you get a T-shirt and my signature, or you get two signatures, a T-shirt signature and another item, and then a discount on your next donation. So your donation is going to something fun and educational for kids, esports room. So just like a football field, like a basketball court. My goal with my foundation is to put them in places where young people are that are looking to go into the IT space or looking to go just to play video game. And so our first facility is getting planned out right now. They got approved for their funding. It's up in Wisconsin, Menominee area, Shawano area, and we're super excited. We'll be doing a launch event for it sometime this summer. I will keep you up to date. But into the meantime, click the link that is at the top of this screen. Please click that link to get your T-shirt. I got it in the
chat as well.
Yeah, it's in the chat as well. It's on the top of the screen. Go to that link, get your T-shirt, plug it in, and help us fundraise to have esports in places like the Boys and Girls Club, like high schools, junior high schools, in your neighborhood. We will come to you. We will come to you, not just here in Texas, not just in Wisconsin. We'll come all over the country. Stay Plugged In is my partner. Shout out to Stay Plugged In and their team. Rick Suarez is the managing director of them. Great guy who I meet with once a week to talk about these events that we just talked about doing this plan out and launch day this summer. So we're looking at sometime in July or August, Akedo, so you know. So set your calendar. I'll let you know dates as they pop up. So let's hit another commercial, take another break, and we'll be back with another fun segment because we got to wrap this thing up. I got movies to watch. So see y'all in a few. We got Devour. Oh, no, we got Stay Plugged In coming at you. There you go.
Looking to turn your passion for gaming into a college opportunity? Stay Plugged In is the premier platform connecting esports players with college programs nationwide. Whether you're grinding on Valorant, Rocket League, or Overwatch, Stay Plugged In gives you the tools to showcase your skills and earn esports scholarships. Don't just play, get recruited. Visit staypluggedin.com and start your journey to the next level today.
All right, I said with the time remaining, we'll have enough time to go through this section here, and then maybe this or that. We'll wrap up. We'll do Fallout next week. We'll talk about that. So we'll get to the next two segments of the show. So we're here in this week in esports, starting on March 29th. If you know this kid right here, you probably know this kid from a game that we just talked about. He was American teen. Remember Booga? He became a world champion this year. That year in 2019, winning $3 million, making more money than his mom and dad ever had thought of. But their 16 or 17 or 13-year-old kid was bringing home the bag that he just got. He was 16 years old at that time. He had signed with the Sentinels organization of esports. So just months later, he won the inaugural Fortnite Cup solo finals. I remember that. I was in LA meeting with my team of ESTV when I was first with them, investing with them. So he signed later with the Sentinels team. And he's securing at that winning $3 million prize pool and becoming one of the first recognizable faces of esports gaming history, along with Ninja at that time, Shroud, Myth, to name a few. What's that? There's another. I know another one. She plays for. I've had her on the show. It's been years ago. I gotta get her back on. The name drops me. Dang it, can't find it. Dang it, I hate when I miss names. All right, next one on the list here. Got a fun game right here. Down Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty Mobile World Championships are now taking place, and registration is up for stage 1 of the Call of Duty Mobile World Championships, officially beginning a couple days ago, May 30th. This marked the start of a multi-stage global circuit concluding later this year. So if you go on Reddit, this is kind of the stage rewards that you get. You talk about rewards and battle passes and game passes. We were just talking about Akedo. So these are some of the things and weapon skins that you can earn started back on March 3rd.
I played that game, Call of Duty Mobile, for like the first 2 seasons, like season 0 and season 1.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It was good. It was a solid game. I just stopped.
I just stopped. Well, somebody that just stopped was one of these guys. So the iBuyPower bans. So while the original bans of the iBuyPower matching fixing scandal occurred in early 2015, so you're talking about 10, 11 years ago, this date remains a focal point of the fallout that effectively ended the high-level careers of North American legend Sam Dazed Marine and Joshua Steele Nissan. Tyler Scatadoodle was his gaming name. Latham is his last name, was the notable only player not to be banned, later going on to win a major with Cloud9. So they were match fixing, which became a thing. That means they were losing on purpose, winning on purpose, or the other team was in cahoots with them. So it was that going on in gaming, and that happened so fast. Gaming ain't even been around 50 years yet, close to 50 years, and they're already getting fixed. Players trying to win money on under the table. So yes, Akedo, that went down. Why you look so sad, buddy? Why you look so sad?
I don't know. I heard this in the news recently too. There was a girl who, I guess it was some mobile game. Her boyfriend was playing for her, and then she got banned or something crazy. Yeah, I'm like, why y'all got to go cheating in these major tournaments? You think it's why are you going to get to the biggest stage in the world to cheat? Right. I just think it's just weird that you got all these sponsors and all these different things, and if the companies are as a whatever are paying other teams and stuff, I don't know, to make their product or whatever look better, couldn't y'all just do that by getting good? Right,
the right way, grind it out.
That's a weird flex, bro. I mean, that's weird.
Terrible. That's a terrible flex. It's not weird. It's terrible because then you're cheating out players that actually put in real work. Right, to go win.
And you're cheating how? So I mean, even if you make the other team lose, if you're trash, you'll still lose.
Exactly.
You can't pay everyone off.
They tried to, and it didn't work. All right, and the next one here in the Gamer, the Esports History of the Week, and this is for our boy that eats tapioca that we know.
I don't want to watch this.
World of Tanks. So April Fool's events across various titles like World of Tanks, developers launched a major limited time event sales and fake battle passes every April 1st. So that's cold-blooded right there. They know people are going to buy. They're going to be in on that one. So World of Tanks, April 1st, they pull out fake battle passes to fake out the customers. So there you go. That's cold-blooded right there. Oh man, that got me laughing. And that's a mess.
PlayStation ad was hilarious. Hold on, Ludio. I sent this to him on. I don't think he saw it. If he could pull it up, I think he should.
What?
Because PlayStation had the best April Fool's ad.
Oh
this time
no,
around.
I didn't see it until
It's
I already
funny.
I can pull it up. I can pull it up. Hold up.
It's worth it. This will be worth your time. I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't worth your time.
Right.
Only because Ludio said worst social media day. Some of the ones that they did here, this is funny. Listen, watch this.
Hold on. Let me get in position. Let me get it ready. I'm not ready yet. All right. This is hit play right here.
Yeah, hit it. Go. Run it. And if the audio's going, this is funny.
Zero catch.
No,
Zero compromise.
Sprite's really good too, though. Shout out to Starry better, but
Hey, Playmo, any tips to improve my laptop?
Got it. I'll take the wheel. Try widening your approach from the outside, then hugging the inside curve. Watch and learn.
Hey, Playmo, can you handle this boss for me?
One slain boss coming up.
Hey, Playmo, you ready to lose?
I'm down for a good spar.
Ooh, it's past your bedtime. Go to sleep.
Oh, that's
Train your algorithm on that.
Got it. Approved purchase for 99,000 V-Bucks.
What? No, undo.
Got it. Changing your PSN ID to no-life_detected.
No, what? No.
Got it. Playing back your voice chat history.
Yeah, crawl back into your mom's butt.
Whoa. Delete.
These hands are rated E for everyone.
Delete that.
Deleting all save files.
Oh, dang.
Got it. Ordering 100 large cheese pizzas.
Oh, hell no.
Insert pizza in the disk drive.
Power off.
Press and hold the D button to power off.
There is no D button.
D's nuts.
Dang.
I know you've been playing Xbox behind my back.
What?
Are we exclusive or not?
That's funny.
100 cheese pizzas for Mr. No Life Detected.
You still owe me for all this, by the way.
That's a good one. Good job, PlayStation. Good
so
job.
my bad. That was IGN's ad, but I'm sure they had to get approval from PlayStation for it. But that was IGN's ad.
All right, good
It was
job.
funny.
Good job, IGN, PlayStation. Hey, well, PlayStation made it. Obviously, they were in it. Cahoots. So good job, IGN, PlayStation. Hey, good job. That was funny. All right, on that note, guys, we got to end the show because I can't miss my date to go see Super Mario Galaxy today. So we got the 4:25. We're about 10 minutes away, so I got just enough time to go put my shoes on, put my wallet in my pocket, and go see the box office breaking. We already know this because everybody on the planet Earth wants to see this movie. It's already I looked at the ticket thing and it was already half sold out. So. And that was last night when I bought the tickets. So hope if y'all going to see Mario Galaxy, have a great time because that's what I'm going to see. And then I will give feedback through the weekend. And I'll be traveling tomorrow. So no throwback. Maybe a throwback Thursday if I got time in my room, at the hotel. I got to get my room set up too, by the way. So I got some work to do. Anyway, so I want to say thank you to Chris Collier coming in and having a great conversation with us, with myself and Akedo as well, and the chat. Fantastic as usual, but we'll be back next week here at 2 p.m. on the Mind Greens Gamers Lounge. We got DDI. We got to continue to fundraise for, and we'll have some more special guests on the show later this week or later this month, and some game releases. I say game releases real quick. I'll spit out for you that was coming up next are Legends of Kain Ascendance come out yesterday. And Darwin's Paradox. It's an interesting game. Darwin's Paradox. What happens when a curious octopus gets roped into saving the world. So there you go. That was the 2 games of the week. So I appreciate everybody coming in this stream, having a good time here on LinkedIn, on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. See you next week. Peace out. All right, I gotta go down here and put the music on. I wish I had a nice Mario theme or something, but I can't. I got to copyright that or they'll sue me. Here we go. They would sue me. I don't want to get sued by Nintendo. I don't have that money.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Letter just pops up at the door. Let's sue.
Let's sue him. Music it going?
Wild, bro.